Hello and welcome. Tensions in the Middle East have escalated once again as the United States launches heavy military strikes against Iran, following what Washington says was an attempted ballistic missile attack on American troops. The latest exchange marks another dangerous chapter in a conflict that has now stretched for 5 months with no clear end in sight. Here are full details. According to the U.S. Central Command, also known as CENTCOM, American force carried out large-scale strikes on Wednesday night against dozens of targets linked to Iran's Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps. The operations reportedly lasted for about an hour and targeted military command centers, missiles and drone facilities, coastal surveillance systems, air defense sites, and maritime capabilities. CENTCOM described the operations as a powerful response to Iran's attempted attack on U.S. forces stationed in the Middle East. The U.S. military said Iran fired ballistic missiles towards American bases in Jordan and also attempted attacks near U.S. naval assets operating in the Strait of Hormuz. According to CENTCOM, all incoming missiles were successfully intercepted and no American casualties were reported. Before the strikes began, US President Donald Trump warned that America would respond forcefully. Speaking at the White House, Trump said, "We're going to be hitting them very hard because it's our turn to hit them. They know it's coming. They asked us not to do it." Meanwhile, Iran's Revolutionary Guard confirmed that it had targeted a US airbase and command center in Jordan, describing the attack as retaliations against what it called American aggressions. The IRGC also claimed responsibility for attacks on 3 oil tankers in the Strait of Hormuz, accusing them of traveling through what it described as an unsafe and illegal route. The latest escalations comes just days after a brief period of relative calm. For several days, both Washington and Tehran had reduced military operations amid reports that diplomatic contacts were quietly resuming. President Trump described the decisions as very friendly negotiations, although Iranian officials denied that any talks were taking place. Earlier this week, the conflict widened further when the United States and Saudi Arabia carried out joint strikes against Iranian-backed military positions in eastern Iraq. According to CENTCOM, those operations targeted logistics hubs and weapons storage sites used by groups allegedly responsible for more than 30 drone attacks directed by the IRGC over the previous 72 hours. Iraq's Popular Mobilization Force, a powerful umbrella organization dominated by Iran-backed Shia militants, said at least 20 of its fighters were killed in those strikes. The Iraqi presidency strongly condemned the attack, calling them an unacceptable violations of Iraq's sovereignty. However, President Trump later told that the operations had been coordinated with the Iraqi government. Diplomatic efforts are also continuing behind the scenes. According to Axios, citing an unnamed US official, President Trump recently met Saudi Defense Minister Prince Khalid bin Salman. During the meeting, Saudi Arabia reportedly urges the United States to de-escalate tensions and avoid a broader regional war. The White House has not officially commented on the report. The current conflict began month end after US and Israel strike against Iranian military targets. At the time, President Trump had predicted the fighting would last only a few weeks. Instead, the conflict has continued for 5 months with repeated missile attacks, drone strikes, and military operations involving multiple countries across the Middle East. With fresh retaliation strikes now underway and diplomatic efforts showing little progress, concerns are growing that the region could face an even wider military confrontations in the coming weeks. We will continue to monitor every major development and bring you the latest update. Thank you for watching.